In this Wellness Wednesday video, I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about sleep and about supplements that I take to help me get the best sleep. As always, I'm not a doctor or nutritionist, and I'm not recommending anything to anybody. All I'm doing is sharing my experience and things that I have done and things that have helped me. So first off, I'll share a little bit about my history around sleep. I overall am a very good sleeper. I wouldn't say that I have any chronic sleep issues, but I definitely go through periods where I do struggle with sleep, and sometimes they are very long periods where I struggle with sleep. And usually those times revolve around stress, either after I've had a baby or when we're on vacation, like away from the house. I definitely struggle with sleep. There was one time where I couldn't figure out why I was having trouble sleeping, and then it hit me. I'm exercising before bed every night. Like, that was my time to exercise. And so I was exercising every night, and then I was having trouble sleeping. And I don't know why it took so long for me to make the connection. That wasn't a good idea. But there have been some really long periods where I struggled with sleep. And those of you that have struggled with sleep before know how incredibly difficult it is to deal with something like that. You don't realize how important sleep is until you don't have it. All the supplements I'm going to talk about, I got the idea to use from Julia Ross in her book. She has a couple of books. One is called The Diet Cure and one is called The Mood Cure. And they both have very similar information because, like I have learned for myself, that diet and mood go hand in hand. So the supplements that she recommends can really work wonders for both diet issues and for mood issues. The main idea of the book is something called amino acid therapy, and that's basically just taking large doses of different amino acid supplements strategically in order to address different issues. So one cool thing about the book is that she has questionnaires where you can go in and put all of your symptoms in. And I think she actually has that online, available online as well. So if I can find that, I will link to it. But you can go in and put in all of your different symptoms that you're dealing with and then get a recommendation of different amino acids to try to help address those issues. And one interesting thing that I found is that her recommendation of doses is way higher than what it usually says on the bottle. It'll be one pill once or twice a day, and she's having you take 4 pills 3 times a day or something like that. And with amino acids, as far as I understand, and remember, I'm not a doctor or anything, and I'm not recommending anything, but from what I understand, it's not easy to overdose on an amino acid. So amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So whenever you eat protein, you're getting different amino acids. And so if you megadose with it, it's just like eating extra protein, I guess. So for me, it was really helpful to take a lot higher dose than what's recommended on the bottle. I didn't really see benefit from taking just the little doses, but when I was megadosing and following her schedule of taking it at the right times, it really made a difference. So these different amino acids, they can have different effects. Some will help give you energy and mental clarity. And then there are other ones that are more relaxing and promote, good sleep. And those are the ones that really I have latched onto and that I have found the most benefit in. But I think I benefited a lot just from going through the whole therapy and taking all of them for a time. And the really cool thing about amino acids is that you have stores of them in your body, which you can fill up. And then you get to the point where you don't have to take them all the time. There are certain supplements where if you take them, your body down-regulates its production of them. And so actually, in the long run, it can make you dependent on the supplement, and you just have to keep taking it in order to get the benefit. But with these amino acids, you actually fill up your stores, and then you can kind of lower your dose and actually get off of them completely. So whenever I talk about sleep, a lot of people will recommend melatonin. They'll say, oh, have you ever tried melatonin? And I choose not to take melatonin, not because it doesn't work to help you get a good night's sleep, but because it's one of those, from my understanding, that down-regulates your body's production of melatonin. And so in the long run, it actually can make your sleep issues worse. So if you want to learn all about the whole amino acid therapy program and all the different things that the different amino acids can help with. Like, for example, if you still struggle with craving sugar, even though you're doing everything right, there are certain amino acids that can really, really help with that. If you're trying to get off caffeine, there's an amino acid that really can help you with that, like with the withdrawals and stuff, and just help you overall with energy. But the ones I'm going to focus on are the sleep ones, and those are the ones that I continually go back to. So like I said, I will take them for a while, and then I will, build up my stores, and then I'll stop taking them. But it seems like whenever a stressful time comes, I kind of have to go back on them. So I definitely was back on them during our move. I was taking some large doses again to make sure I was getting restful sleep during that time. And I kind of have lowered my doses over the last couple months since we've been settled into our house. And then when we went on vacation, I tried to stay on my lower dose, and I was like, oh, I should be fine. I've been sleeping great. I'll be fine. And then of course the very first night I couldn't sleep and I had taken my lower dose. And so after that, I upped my dose and then added one more that I had taken out. When I was at the store, I ran and got it. And then after that, I slept incredible every single night. So when I am in a stressful time and I am starting like with the highest dose, like if I was really struggling with sleep, the highest dose I would take, and there's 3 different supplements that I take. And the first one is Gaba. So I would take just one of these. This is a 500 milligram, which is a pretty high dose of Gaba. And when I do reduce my Gaba, I found a different one that's 100 milligrams each tablet. And so I can, take 2 or 3 or however many as I titrate down my dose. So Gaba is the first one. And the info on the bottle here says that, Gaba is naturally produced in the body, and its presence within the central nervous system may help promote relaxation and ease nervous tension. So if you have like anxiety or like racing thoughts before bed where you can't sleep because you're like so, worried about something, or you just can't get something out of your mind, Gaba can be a really good calming supplement to take. Then the next one that I take is tryptophan. And I think if I had to just pick one that I could only take, I think it would be tryptophan. I think it has the most effect on my sleep, and I absolutely love it. So this is a 500 milligram. So on the bottle here, it says L-tryptophan is an essential amino acid that is a precursor to serotonin. So if I'm really struggling with sleep, what I will do is I will take 3 of these at about 6 p.m. And you're supposed to take them away from a meal containing protein, because the proteins, the different amino acids can sometimes compete for the same place in the brain. So if you really want to make sure that you're absorbing the tryptophan, take it away from eating other proteins. So I will take it around like 6 or 7 p.m., maybe like 30 minutes after dinner or something like that. 3 of them, and then I will take another 3 right before bed. And then before our beach trip, I had gotten my dose down to just taking 2 of them right before bed. All right, the last one that I will take, and this is the one that I stopped taking pretty quickly. I'll take this when I'm really struggling with sleep, but it's the first one that I drop off when I'm starting to feel like I'm getting a handle on my sleep better. And that's 5-HTP, and the T in 5-HTP actually stands for tryptophan. So you're actually doubling up on the tryptophan if you're taking both tryptophan and 5-HTP. But when I really need to make sure I'm going to get a lot of good sleep, I do double up and I take 5-HTP also. And this is a 50 milligram dose, and I will take 2 of these right before bed. And you can do the same thing that you do with the tryptophan, where you take 1 dose at around 6 or 7, and then 1 dose right before bed. You could do 1 capsule after dinner, or 1 capsule right before bed. And really, if you're really struggling, you can do the same thing with the Gaba too. I just find that 500 milligrams of Gaba is plenty for me, and I can feel the effects really quickly. So that's not one that I usually do the double dose. So for me, those 3 supplements were the key for getting good sleep wherever I'm at. It was so difficult before because it felt like if I ever were to go, on traveling or on vacation, I just couldn't sleep. And it was so frustrating because I had all these fun things I wanted to do and have energy for, and it's awful to be laying in bed all night and not be able to sleep. So these supplements have really, really been transformative to me and for my specific issues. And of course, everyone has different issues. So if you're sleeping issues aren't the same as mine, these supplements might not have the same effect on you, but I did want to just share. I have shared these supplements with several people and they have really had good benefit from them as well. And one of the absolutely wonderful things about all three of these supplements and all of the amino acids in the whole amino acid therapy program that Julia Ross talks about is that they're all super cheap. I mean, you can get a bottle, a giant bottle. I mean, this is 200 capsules. This bottle, I don't remember how much it was, but it's probably less than $20. And they're just super cheap. It's not an expensive drug. And the benefit I've personally received from them is extraordinary. So I love that. I love it when there's something so powerful, yet so affordable and natural. Like, it's not a drug. It's a natural amino acid. It's just a part of protein. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this Wellness Wednesday sleep chat. I hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you again in another video.